Alright everyone, so I'm going to quickly go over how to get logging to properly work on the latest beta firmware for Flightone currently. So, I'm on the latest beta version, which is 1.2.90. So please make sure you're using that firmware and this configurator in order to get the logging to properly work the way I'm able to get it to work. So there's a couple requirements that are obvious and some that aren't so obvious. So let's go into some of those here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into the configurations tab, scroll down, and make sure you select multi-shot. It will not work with any other ESC protocol. So make sure you have multi-shot. You cannot use multi-shot 16 kilohertz or D-shot, any of the D-shot or Pro-shot. Alright, I am using BL Heli 32 ESCs. I don't know if that is also another bug or issue, but just so you know, I am using that. The next thing you need to be using for logging to work properly is you must be in legacy mode. You cannot be in any of the other options for the PID type. Another thing you need to do before you start logging is format flash and erase flash. I've been able to get a proper log format flashing and then erase flashing, or vice versa. So I don't think it necessarily matters which one you do first, but I recommend doing them both when you do it. Also, I want to note that I'm using the OSD flight controller, so the full-size version, and I do not have a logging switch on my radio for it. So if you go into the setups tab and you go to setup modes and you launch the wizard, there's an option to record logging on a switch, but I do have a figure for it because I was doing some testing, but currently it's set to 0, which means none of the switches are actually activating that anyways. So I'm not using a switch in order to get logging to work. Okay, now we're going to get into the last thing that allowed me to fully record a full log along with the frequency analyzer, because I was able to previously get a log, but it was kind of like a weird corrupt file where I could kind of see some recordings, but the frequency analyzer just wasn't showing up for me. It was like something was broken with that. So previously I was able to get logging. The only thing I couldn't get was the frequency analyzer, and that was because I had biquad filter set to I had it originally set to, I think, I don't know, 250. So this is what I originally had. Okay, so I originally had biquad filter at 250 stage 1 and then RC filter on stage 2 at 180. Now, I was able to get a log, I just couldn't get the frequency analyzer, and if you're confused what that is, I'll show you what that is towards the end. So the way I was able to resolve that issue was I changed the RC filter to a frequency filter, and then I dropped that filter down to about 100, and then I saved it, and then that allowed me to get a full proper log with the frequency analyzer. Now, I just updated to the latest beta 1.2.90, and that allowed me to actually get a log with a frequency filter at 180 and these filters at 183. So honestly, if I were you, I would start at 100 just to be safe. Make sure you don't smoke any motors, and that will more than likely allow you to get a proper log with the frequency analyzer. So the frequency analyzer, if you're not aware, what you want to do is you need to download the Betaflight Black Box Explorer, and I'm going to open up a file here, a log. Now the frequency analyzer is an analyzer that is this guy right here. So this is what I wanted. So this actually shows me the frequencies that are resonating and giving me problems that I need to address. And previously with the broken logs, I wasn't able to do that unless I had the frequency filter set on stage 2 for the gyro, and unless that was a value under 100. So hopefully this video was helpful. I know it's been kind of stressful for me and probably you as well to get a actual log. It's so much nicer just to actually see the issues and address them rather than just picking random numbers and hoping for the best every single time. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment and I'll try to answer them, and catch you guys later.